Who will save Ndigbo from this strangulating vengeance? Who will save Ndigbo from this strangulating vengeance of the northern oligarchy? Who will be our champion? There is no gainsaying the fact that the Igbo nation needs a national leader who can speak for us in time like this. A leader whose voice will thunder across the Niger River when he speaks. A leader like Goliath of Gath, who would stand while others far behind him in full confidence, not minding the strength of the army. Not the Philistine political jobbers that parade themselves as leaders but sulk when the president speaks. We need a fearless leader who will be able to tell the president that a senator is involved. Reference to the title book Shall Will Tell the President, written by Jeffrey Archer, former member of the British House of Lords. There is no doubt that Ndigbo are in for a tough time in Nigeria because of their lack of true leaders. When it comes to the economic development of Nigeria, the Igbo do not only stand head to shoulder with other tribes, but are second to none. From Lagos to Calabar, Sokoto, and Maiduguri, they have established their presence as economic giants. But in spite of their colossal contributions to the development of their host communities, they are hated and seen as foreigners, even in their own country. This hatred can be traced back to the 1966 and 1970 Nigerian genocide that the Igbos fought for self-determination from Nigeria, though the federal government led by General Yakubu Gowon declared a no-winner, no-vanquished situation every Igbo man and woman knows. Through the actions of their host communities in Nigeria, they lost the war. The outcome of the war is a resultant lack of federal presence in the southeast of Nigeria, the lack of an Igbo man in the Federal Security Council, resulting in security decisions concerning the region being taken without a representative from the region before accounting to shaving a man's head in his absence. Yet Igbos have politicians who are members of the Federal Executive Council, senators and state governors who are into politics for their personal gains. Today, the Igbos lack a politician of character, caliber, clout, and influence of an Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu who can speak for the Yoruba race at the highest level when it matters the most and be respected. Rather, what the Igbo nation has as a bunch of subservient, docile, acquiescing Philistine and characterless politicians. These could invite the military and police in Igbo land to cause mayhem, just to remain in power and be in the good books of the president. Yeah, I mean, we know who. We're not going to mention names. There's no courageous voice presently at the National Assembly who speak for Ndigbo, except the lone voice of Senator Eyinaya Abarbe. Yeah, governors both past and present are nothing but sycophants and opportunities who sit down and clap while their ancestral homes burn and the people are slaughtered by security operatives who are without an iota of conscience. I think it is time that Ndigbo jettison the old saying that Igbo enwegeze and go in search of a national leader like the Israelites did under Samuel, who would always speak for them in time like this. Ndigbo must, as a matter of urgency, start speaking with one strident voice in order to halt the slaughter of our people going on now in the southeast and elsewhere in Nigeria. And whoever is responsible for the wanton destruction of government properties and killing of soldiers and policemen who are supposed to guard and protect us in the southeast should stop and re-strategize, because their present strategy has only brought along sorrow, tears and blood to the land. They should give up the struggle and embrace peace for the interest of the innocent, who will pay the ultimate price for their actions. Yeah, very accurate, very well put together. And yeah, it just is what it is. I mean, I was literally like, Nnamdi Kanu, but again, I think this person is saying someone in the government, and I think the avenue this person is taking is sort of looking at the possibility of, if Igbos or Biafra is still in Nigeria, and if we had good leaders who were representing us in the government, at least, okay, fine, the fight would be easier because we know that, okay, we have representatives for us in the government. But then that is not the case. And again, after the war, it was like a grudge thing. Like, you try to separate from us, and now just petty childishness. It's just like, okay, fine, we're not going to help you anymore. Federal presence will not be there. We're not gonna take your matters seriously. It's just like, come on now. Someone says, God raise and help, give us helper that will turn Nigeria desert. Do not lament, Ndigbo have him already. He is called Nnamdi Kanu, period. That's it. He doesn't have to be in the National Assembly or in a space where he, like, the odds of the person of him, yeah, it's just not it. So also, what has Tinubu done for the Yoruba people to deserve having his kind in Igbo land as a plus? Well, can someone explain? Because I mean, when the article went there saying we need somebody like that with that kind of influence and clout, I'm like, oh, all right, okay, it's not that deep, but it's just like, yeah, like, what has he done? I mean, obviously, he's been governor of the state and all that. That's absolutely fine, but I'm like, compared to Tinubu, like, not really, no. So yeah, I don't know why Tinubu was brought. I mean, yes, I understand Tinubu, yes, does have influence. Well, he did have influence. NSAS protest might have, dropped a little bit, but he did have that kind of influence. But then his influence is not necessarily on the side of his own people, is it? Exactly. So again, several decisions that he's made, like Shasha Market crisis, he's never really addressed them, but then he'd go to the north, obviously to rub the palms of those that are there, to get to where he wants to get it, because there are rumors of his presidential ambition, which not gonna happen. Someone says, unto you guys a nation, you know love between each other. Okay, this person say if we separate, there'll be no love between one another. I think that's absolutely childish. I mean, come on now, come on. I think we just need to realize that after colonization, we've never really had like proper self-expression in terms of going back to who we are and finding that proper identity and working on it, and then redefining what our core value is. I think after colonization, or even before, we were independent, our common value system was, or our just common value was to kick the British out. We did not want to be colonized, and I think that was what our driving force was into. But I think we just never had that autonomy for a long time as Africans, as that core. So again, when we now, after that, we have control, but then we now have to share our autonomy, not really being in full self-expression of our culture. I guess it is hard, and of course that's when people want to be represented as much, but then of course we have corruption and other things that tie into that. So again, it doesn't even work out anyway. It's so sad. Put what you think about this in the comment section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.